Welcome back to the channel. Today in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little different. Lately, I've been doing a lot of reaction videos on the channel, so I haven't really gotten that heart-to-heart with you guys in a minute. So I'm going to be rolling the dice and shaking it up a little bit again today. In today's video, I'm going to be kind of bracketing and kind of picking apart food addiction altogether. It's something I struggled with my whole childhood, pretty much my whole life up to this point. And I'm not gonna be here and be all sappy and sad, and I'm just gonna be telling you, some things that on what to avoid with all of it. So yeah, enough of me yapping, and let's get into this video. So kind of breaking down on why I'm doing a video like this. This whole channel and me on the internet altogether was it mainly based and surrounded by making educational content for people either trying to get in.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
People trying to get in shape or lose weight or just needing motivation altogether. It's the only reason why I'm making any sort of content online. If you get anything on this video, if you could just let me know, like and subscribe, it would go a long way, and it would mean a lot to me, and I would love to see your beautiful faces and your beautiful words in the comment section. To start off this video at number 5, identifying triggers on binge eating, or just triggers in general for why you would slip up on a diet, or like I said, like binge eat altogether. Something that a lot of people don't know is that, food addiction or, binge eating or anything like that, it isn't all just about like, oh, I love food. It's a very emotional base. For an example, recognizing when you're either wanting to go out to eat or when you want to binge eat, on what that trigger is, on what is going on in your life or in that moment to why you feel that's the best move on the chessboard. On the emotional side of things, a big thing for me was, taking a step back, and something I would recommend to a lot of people is journaling. And I preached it in other videos, and it sounds cliche, but it's something about writing, anything down, either if that is a workout routine or, like I said, your feelings. So in this case is, what are you feeling in that moment on why you want to, like I said, slip up on your diet or start binge eating or just eat like crap altogether. For me, a big, emotional thing was bored eating. I've said that in other videos. Sometimes it was comfort eating. Comfort eating is, I feel like, a big problem nowadays, especially with all the mental health issues in this world. And somebody right outside my window.
Bro, zoinks!
Jinkies! Jeepers!
I feel like for me, it was not feeling, accepted in certain things. And I felt like the only thing that I felt accepted with was with eating. And that sounds weird, but it was more comforting in that moment than I felt like anyone could be in my life. And especially for me as a young man, not wanting to be emotional or showing my emotions to the world, I guess. So I would just stuff it down with food, and I realized that it could be helpful and it can't be. So yeah, really breaking down what you're feeling in that moment is very, very, very important. All right, at number 4 on the list, and something that was, I guess, a little different for me, was rewiring your reward system. Something that this generation struggles with is dopamine hits, and that can go with scrolling your phone. That's a big one, but it's also food. Food is an incredible dopamine hit that I feel like it's not really talked about that much. So replacing your reward system with something healthier. So what I mean by that is, like I was saying, like, your dopamine hits could be like scrolling your phone, and that could be, a reward system. But for me, it's like a cold shower. Like, especially in the morning, if you're a morning shower like myself, that is a dopamine hit. Like it hits hard every morning. I do it. I would highly recommend it. It could be with workouts, small wins, like just doing a task around the house. That reward system in you of accomplishing something that you didn't want to do. For me, it was a different dopamine hit, but it still was, you crave that feeling of accomplishment. And for me, that was something that was hard to rewind in my brain, but every time I did it, I was rewinding my brain on that's the way to live right there. And I feel like I'm not looking at you guys enough. Am I not?
Embarrassing.
Rewiring your brain, drowned out your old lifestyle. Just because you do something good doesn't mean you want to follow it with something bad. Because then you stay at this constant level of mediocrity. All right, at number 3 on the list, we got remove temptations and replace it. You'd be very surprised on how easy it is to not binge eat or fall for temptational foods when they're not in sight. A big thing for me was not buying them or keeping them in my facility at all. For me, if it's in the house, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna sniff it out like a fucking rat and I'm gonna eat the shit out of it.
Got him. We fucking got him.
So it wasn't just not buying it altogether and replacing it. And like I said, you could go to my TikTok and I've done so many videos on replacing foods. There's so many things for, if you're a chip addict, there's so many replacements. If you're a sweet addict, there's so many replacements out there. I really, really recommend to please educate yourself a little bit on those food swaps. And an exciting thing about this, if you say you are addicted, is, learning new stuff. It's fun. It's honestly, it's fun. For me, when I was getting into dieting, fuck.
Watch your profanity.
When I was getting into dieting, a big part of it on why I would say I kept going is that it was something new. I felt like I was such at a plateau in my life doing this and finding replacement foods and new diets. It was fun. Keeping those temptational foods out of sight, out of mind, it kind of goes back to my last one. It reprograms your brain into a new lifestyle. All right, and then
Can you eat pussy like that?
number 2, we have change the way you talk about yourself. For an example, don't say, I can't eat that. Say, I don't want to eat that. The way you think about yourself deep down is the way you live. Say you walk around and you're super insecure about your body and, you're like, I'm fat. No one likes me, I'm fat. You're gonna live a fat lifestyle. You're sitting there calling yourself ugly all the time. You're just gonna sit there and be like, no one wants to be with me because I'm ugly. Like, why would you want that mindset? That mindset kills everything. And if you're not like that, you're a stud. Just unlock that part of you that's hiding away, that's waiting to break out. At the end of the day, you're not trying to quit junk food. You're just trying to be someone who eats with intention. And at number 1 on the list, and the one I know that you need to hear. Focus on progress, not perfection. One bad meal doesn't erase a week of dedication. The thing about food addiction, it's a recovery. You're trying to recover from the bad habits that you've implemented in your life. And a big thing is it's about consistency. It's not about punishing yourself. If you've worked hard all week, going to the gym, eating right, and then say on a Sunday, your friends are over or you're watching football and you're kind of just eating like shit, don't punish yourself from that. Just learn from that. Take that in account where, next Sunday rolls around and, there's a bunch of, now say there's a bunch of junk food laying around or whatnot. Okay, either I should eat beforehand or I should just, bring, let's say like a bag of popcorn. I don't know, a little something healthier. Like, don't punish yourself from that. Just learn from your mistakes. That you either learn the hard way, which would be, eating like shit on that Sunday, or the harder way. And that's eating like shit and continuing that path. So on a little brighter side, celebrating those small wins. So say that next week you go and you don't eat that junk food, that is amazing. Celebrate that. Feel good about yourself there, because those small wins, they build momentum. And a big thing is that it's called being on a winning streak. Like, on a big reason on why a recovering alcoholic will never drink again is it's called a winning streak. I feel like they get on a winning streak and they can't stop. They're like, oh, yep, that's, 2 weeks sober. That's a year sober. That's 10 years sober. Building a winning streak and momentum is so important to where it will overcome those small temptations and help you on your new journey and help you in recovery of your food addiction. Did you really sit through all that?
Nope.
But that's gonna do it for this video. And again, I don't know if you guys like videos like this. I kind of like doing this here and there, maybe more often than usual, just kind of sharing on my past life experience and what I've learned through all of this. And if you would like more videos like this, I'd be more than willing to keep doing them. I kind of like doing the reaction videos. I know you guys kind of like them too. But if there's any other videos you'd like for me to make, I'd be more than willing to. That's gonna do it for this video. I love you long time. And stay sexy, you beautiful, beautiful stud. And tell your mom I'm on my way, because she's been blowing up my shit. So